Did you know that the plant sitting quietly in your living room might be silently draining your fortune? It sounds strange, but in the world of energy, plants are not just decoration. They are living guardians. Some call them silent priests of the home, others energetic mirrors. But here's what most people don't know: every plant carries a specific frequency. When chosen wrong, or worse, placed in the wrong corner, it can trap luck, block blessings, and hold back the wealth you've been waiting for. If you've ever wondered why your business feels stuck, or why money slips away no matter how hard you try, the answer might be rooted in the very soil of your home. Meanwhile, across thousands of prosperous households, from humble village homes to successful business owners' offices, there's one secret in common. Certain plants are always there, not by chance, but because they're known to breathe life into fortune, redirect stuck energy, and invite prosperity like a gentle river flowing through open windows. Today, we'll reveal the 10 prosperity plants that not only decorate, but transform, turning cold spaces into warm energy fields and quiet corners into silent magnets of abundance. You'll see where to place them, how to activate their power, and more importantly, how to avoid the common mistakes that unknowingly block your luck. So look around your home. That plant in the shadowy corner, what energy has it been holding all these years? Let's begin. 1. Lucky bamboo, the silent rhythm keeper of fortune. You've probably seen it before, tucked into the corner of a friend's office, perched on a bathroom shelf, or maybe balancing on a kitchen windowsill. A simple glass vase, a few green stalks, maybe tied with a red ribbon. It's lucky bamboo. Quiet, decorative, easy. But here's the truth: most people have no idea what they're actually inviting into their space. Lucky bamboo isn't just a plant. It's an energy conductor, a living symbol of balance. And when placed with intention, it doesn't just look good, it activates something in the atmosphere. But placed carelessly, or worse, neglected, it becomes the opposite. A quiet absorber of opportunity, a stagnant symbol of forgotten dreams. In energy traditions like Feng Shui, lucky bamboo is revered for a reason. Its upright shape mirrors resilience. Its water-rooted base suggests flexibility. Its segmented stalks resemble the natural rhythm of life: grow, pause, grow again. And energetically, it embodies the wood element, associated with expansion, health, and upward momentum. Yet that's just part of the story. What gives lucky bamboo its power is how it interacts with its environment. It isn't a solo act. It's part of a larger elemental conversation. When you place it in water, symbolizing flow, inside a clear glass vase, clarity, anchored with white pebbles, earth, grounding, and tie it with a red ribbon, fire, action, you create a full elemental balance. Water feeds wood, earth stabilizes growth, fire fuels transformation. It's not superstition, it's energetic architecture. Let's break it down more practically. 3 stalks of bamboo are more than an aesthetic choice. In holistic systems, the number 3 symbolizes balance and wholeness. Mind, body, spirit, past, present, future, health, wealth, happiness. Arranging bamboo in 3s sets the tone for an environment that supports personal evolution, not just financially, but emotionally and mentally too. But here's the problem. In most American homes and offices, lucky bamboo is slowly dying. Not from neglect per se, but from misunderstanding. It's placed without thought, next to the microwave, on cluttered countertops, under cabinets. It sits in cloudy water that hasn't been changed in weeks. The stones are grimy, the leaves droop, and in that still, tired image is a mirror of something we all feel from time to time: burnout, stagnation, stuckness. That's the beauty of this plant. It reflects. Your bamboo's health reflects your energy, your focus, your care. It's like a wellness check you didn't realize you were giving yourself, and when it's cared for properly, it responds. Not with fireworks, but with flow. A subtle lifting in the energy of your home, a breath of clarity in your day-to-day routine, a gentle sense that things are moving again, even if nothing dramatic is happening yet. So how do you get it right? 1. Choose placement wisely. The southeast corner of your home or office is traditionally associated with abundance and financial well-being. Place your bamboo there to align with growth energy. If you're not into directional placement, just choose a spot where it can get soft, indirect light and stay away from the heat of appliances. Keep it visible, not tucked away behind stuff. Energy likes visibility. 2. Use a clear container. Glass allows energy and light to move freely. Avoid opaque or colored vases that trap energy. Line the bottom with smooth, light-colored stones, clean ones. They represent stability and intention. A layer of sediment at the bottom, that's like emotional clutter for your home. 3. Keep the water fresh. Change it every 5 to 7 days. Water is an energy holder. It absorbs the mood of its space. Stale water equals stale energy. Pour slowly. Rinse the roots. Let it be a tiny ritual of renewal. It takes less than 2 minutes and it changes more than you think. 4. Activate it. The red ribbon isn't just for decoration. In traditional symbolism, red ignites movement. It wakes things up. Tie a simple silk or cotton ribbon around the stalks. You don't need to believe in ancient systems to recognize the emotional power of color. Red says, I'm ready. 5. Set an intention. This is where the plant becomes something more. Every time you refill the vase or adjust its position, pause. Take a breath, say something out loud, even if it feels awkward at first. This space is ready for ease. I welcome aligned opportunities. It's not about the words, it's about the awareness. Speaking gives your energy direction. This isn't about turning your home into a temple. It's about tuning in. And when you do, the bamboo becomes more than a plant. It becomes a kind of subtle accountability partner. A reminder that your space is alive, and so are you. Western culture often prizes the big moment, the promotion, the launch, the dramatic before and after. But the truth is, most transformations begin quietly, in the spaces between things, in the unseen energy of a room, in the soft, upward stretch of a green stalk in a clean vase by a bright window. When your lucky bamboo is thriving, you'll know not just by how it looks, but by how your space feels. Lighter, calmer, clearer, and when it's not. That's a cue not to fix the plant, but to check in with yourself. Because wealth, in the truest sense, isn't about accumulation. It's about alignment. And sometimes the first step toward prosperity is as small and as sacred as changing the water in a vase and placing it where light can reach. So go ahead, find your bamboo, rinse its roots, wipe its leaves, put it where it can see the sunrise, not because you have to, but because the energy of your life deserves to flow again. 2. Holy Basil, the emotional filter at your front door. Some plants heal the air, others heal the body, but very few touch the energy of the home in a way that is both gentle and protective. Holy Basil, often called Tulsi in traditional wellness circles, is one of those rare few. You won't find it climbing walls or blooming with drama. It doesn't demand attention. But its presence, when intentional, can quietly reshape the emotional atmosphere of an entire space. It's not just a plant. It's a natural energy filter. And if you're struggling with emotional heaviness, unexplained anxiety, or a sense that something just feels off, Holy Basil may be exactly what's missing. In wellness traditions across India and Italy, two very different cultures connected by a deep love for earth-grown healing. Holy basil has long been planted near kitchen windows or front doorsteps. Why? Because that's where most energy enters a home, through food and through people. And holy basil's unique frequency makes it ideal for gently filtering what comes in. The conversations, the emotions, even the subtle tension people carry without knowing. Western science, too, has caught on. Studies show that holy basil releases compounds that reduce stress, promote calm, and purify the air. But beyond the biology lies something softer, something more intuitive. When you brush your hand against its leaves or inhale its lightly peppery scent, something in the nervous system exhales. It's not placebo, it's peace. But here's what most people overlook. Holy basil is sensitive, not just to climate, but to intention. You can't ignore it for weeks and expect it to thrive. This is a plant that mirrors presence. When tended with care, it grows rich and vibrant, with leaves that almost glow in the morning sun. But when forgotten, or worse, placed in a dark, neglected corner, it quickly begins to wilt. Not out of weakness, but out of energetic misalignment. Holy basil doesn't tolerate energetic clutter. It either flourishes in harmony or fades in silence. And this is where its power begins. Think about your morning routine. Is there a moment when you feel grounded, centered? Is there a place in your home that restores you rather than just contains you? Now imagine placing a small pot of holy basil in that very spot, near your kettle, beside your reading chair. By the back door where the light falls soft and slanted around 9 a.m., that's not just decor, it's a healing station, a ritual space, a quiet reminder that calm isn't something you wait for, it's something you create. So how do you work with holy basil in a way that actually shifts your space and your energy? 1. Start with intention. Don't buy it like a product. Invite it like a guest. When you bring holy basil into your home, acknowledge it as more than just a plant. It's a living ally, a support system, a helper in your daily energy hygiene. Place it where it can be seen and appreciated. Let it be part of your routine, not just your room. 2. Choose placement mindfully. Holy basil thrives in light, soft, indirect sunlight if indoors, morning sun if outdoors. The east or southeast corner of your home is ideal, especially near a kitchen window or entry point. This placement activates the wood element, growth, and welcomes calm prosperity. Avoid placing it in the bathroom or dark corners. It disconnects the plant from its role as a filter and diminishes its strength. 3. Water with rhythm, not reaction. Holy basil likes consistency. Check the soil every few days. Water when dry, not on a fixed calendar. Let the care feel intuitive. When you water it, pause, don't just pour and go. Say something quietly, even a single word of gratitude. That acknowledgement shifts the energy of the task into a moment of presence. 4. Engage with it daily. Lightly touch the leaves, smell them. Let the scent remind you to breathe slower. If you're a tea drinker, pluck 1 or 2 leaves, never more than 3 at once, and steep them. Let that cup become a ritual of grounding, a way to return to yourself before the world asks too much of you. 5. Observe its message. When holy basil wilts, it's telling you something. Maybe the energy of the space has shifted. Maybe you've been ignoring your own needs. Maybe the air has grown too heavy, too fast. Treat it like a thermometer for emotional climate. Don't panic, just listen. Clean the area around it. Light a candle nearby. Recenter the space, and often the plant will respond. And finally, remember this. In many households around the world, people greet their basil each morning, not out of superstition, but out of sacred routine. It's not a religion, it's a relationship, a two-way channel between nature and nurture. In the West, we often look outward for balance, new schedules, new habits, new spaces. But what if the first step back to balance was something as simple as tending a green leaf on your windowsill with your full attention? Holy basil doesn't change your life overnight. It won't erase your stress or solve your bills. But what it will do, quietly, consistently, is soften the frequency of your home, make your mornings lighter, turn anxious air into breathable calm, and anchor you back into a body that remembers how to exhale. One wellness coach once described her experience like this: "Every time I watered my holy basil, I felt like I was also watering the parts of myself I kept ignoring." That's the kind of healing we often miss. Not dramatic, not loud, just steady, subtle, sustainable. So if your home has felt emotionally cluttered, or if you've been carrying more than you realize, maybe it's time to place a small pot of holy basil in your line of sight. Not to fix your life, but to witness it, support it, hold space for it, because sometimes the energy we need isn't found in a breakthrough, but in a leaf we learn to care for, daily, with presence. And in doing so, we remember that healing isn't a moment, it's a practice. 3. Snake plant, the invisible shield of grounded energy. Some plants invite prosperity, others hold it. But the snake plant, sturdy, sharp, and elegantly still, does something entirely different. It protects it. Not with flowers or fragrance, but with presence. It doesn't charm, it defends. And in an age of information overload, noisy energy, and constant emotional input, that kind of quiet strength is not just rare, it's sacred. You've probably walked past a snake plant dozens of times without noticing. Its vertical leaves, tall, pointed, rimmed in gold or silver, stand like little swords. That's no accident. In Feng Shui and in many modern energy systems, pointed forms are believed to cut through stagnant or harmful energy. Not to create conflict, but to pierce confusion, to slice away distraction, to clear the air in ways even the best purifier cannot. But its power doesn't just lie in shape, it lies in stillness. The snake plant doesn't flinch. It doesn't droop at the first sign of dryness. It doesn't require daily tending. What it does do, if placed properly, is establish a boundary. A line between what stays and what goes, between what you invite in and what you consciously block. It becomes, quite literally, the energetic gatekeeper of your home. If you've ever felt like your space absorbs too much noise, too many moods, too much chaos, this is the plant that says, enough. In Western homes, especially open-plan spaces, energy tends to drift. The front door opens and everything comes in. News, stress, conversations, invisible tension from a workday that follows you home. And unless something in the space filters that influx, it lingers. It sits in corners. It fogs up decision-making. It clutters the emotional air. The snake plant offers a solution that's both symbolic and functional. Placed near the entrance of a home, especially in the south or southeast corner, it acts as a soft barrier, not a wall. A veil, one that sifts through incoming energy and holds back what doesn't belong. You might not notice it at first, but give it a week, a month, and something begins to change. The space near your doorway feels lighter, cleaner, calmer. As if the energy now enters with your permission, not without it. This is subtle energy work, but it's deeply real. The snake plant is especially useful in rooms where electronics dominate, near Wi-Fi routers, beside your desk, in the corner of your TV room, not because it's magic, but because it grounds the space. While digital signals race and scatter, this plant anchors. It stands still when everything else moves too fast. And in that stillness, there's a kind of emotional relief. A reminder that not everything in your life has to bend, rush, or bloom to be powerful. So how do you work with this plant, not just to decorate, but to protect? 1. Choose your purpose. Before you place your snake plant, ask yourself, what do I want this plant to guard? Your sleep, your clarity, your mood. Knowing this helps determine where it belongs. For emotional protection, place it near the front door. For mental clarity, put it near your workspace. For better sleep, consider a spot near the bedroom entrance, not right beside the bed. 2. Let the shape speak. The plant's sword-like leaves are not meant to be hidden. Don't cram it behind curtains or under low shelves. Let it stand. Ideally, it should be tall enough to meet your waistline or above. A small tabletop version won't hold the same energetic weight. This is a plant meant to face the world, not shy from it. 3. Avoid overwatering. This is a low-maintenance plant that thrives on boundaries, just like the energy it helps establish. Water every 2 to 3 weeks. Let the soil dry out in between. Too much care creates rot. That's the metaphor. Overgiving, whether to plants or people, creates imbalance. 4. Wipe the blades. Yes, literally. Use a soft cloth once a week and gently clean each leaf. As you do, think of it like polishing a mirror. This plant reflects your ability to say no, to stand tall, to protect your time and energy. A clean leaf isn't just aesthetic, it's energetic maintenance. 5. Give it space. Don't clutter around the base. Let it breathe. Let it hold presence in the room. 1 snake plant in a clear spot does more than 5 packed in a corner. This isn't about volume, it's about voice. If you want to go deeper, you can anchor the plant's energy further by placing a small grounding object, like a black tourmaline stone or a tiny piece of obsidian, beneath its pot. These stones amplify its shielding qualities. You can even write a short affirmation on a folded piece of paper and place it beneath. Only supportive energy enters this space. Or, my home holds peace and releases the rest. And yes, you can speak to this plant too, not in whispers, not in chants, just in truth. I trust you to hold this space steady. Thank you for reminding me to stay rooted. I release what no longer belongs here. It may sound unusual, but in a world where we often carry so much without realizing it, these small conversations with nature become powerful anchors back to ourselves. In energy wellness circles, the snake plant is known as a boundary keeper. It doesn't just guard your home, it teaches you how to guard yourself. It shows you that stillness is strength, that clarity is protection. That presence doesn't always have to bloom. It can stand firm and quiet and still shift everything. If you've been feeling energetically porous, like other people's moods, the news, the noise of the world keeps seeping in, this is your plant. Start with one, place it with purpose. Let it do what it does best, create calm without needing applause. And slowly you'll notice it, not in dramatic ways, but in subtle shifts, fewer arguments at the door, softer transitions between work and home, a steadier nervous system when you walk into your own space. Because sometimes the most powerful healing isn't about adding more. It's about holding firm to what truly matters and letting the rest fall away. 4. ZZ Plant, the wealth keeper that thrives when you do. Let's talk about loyalty. Not the kind that shows up with grand gestures or dramatic declarations, but the quiet, dependable kind. The kind that's there when you've had a week of missed deadlines and late dinners. The kind that doesn't ask for attention but is always right where you left it, thriving. That's the ZZ plant. If the snake plant is the protector of the home, the ZZ plant is the loyal accountant, tracking what flows in, what flows out, and making sure there's always something left for the days you need it most. This is a plant that thrives in corners, in offices, in forgotten hallways where other plants would give up. It doesn't wilt easily. It doesn't complain. It simply shows up every day, every season. And in Feng Shui, that kind of steady, low-maintenance presence makes it a powerhouse for prosperity. But here's the thing, this plant doesn't just survive low light and irregular watering. It symbolizes something deeper, enduring wealth, quiet growth, unshakable stability. Its glossy, thick leaves aren't just pretty, they look like tiny coins. Bright, plump, unfolding in pairs, that visual matters. In energy work, shape carries meaning. Circles evoke continuity, paired symmetry evokes balance. The ZZ plant isn't decorative, it's communicative. It tells a story of wealth that builds slowly, silently, and over time. And yet, just like with anything in life, if you neglect it too long or ignore the signs, it will start to turn on you. Drooping leaves, that's your cue. Yellowing tips, time to reassess. Because this plant, for all its toughness, is still responsive. It may not demand care, but it reflects your patterns back at you every single day. Want to know how you're handling your own energy, your finances, your emotional reserves? Look at your ZZ. Is it standing tall, shiny, growing in quiet bursts, or is it slouching in the background, forgotten beneath a pile of unopened mail? This isn't just metaphor, it's energetic feedback. So let's ground this in practice. Hear us how to invite this plant into your life, not as a trend, but as a long-term ally. One, know its strengths and let them teach you. The ZZ plant is patient, resilient, adaptable. If you travel often, work long hours, or tend to forget to water things, this plant won't hold it against you. But don't confuse low maintenance with no meaning. The very qualities that make it easy are the same ones that mirror quiet financial strength. Endurance, low drama, slow growth with deep roots. Two, placement matters. In energy flow systems, the southeast area of your home or office is considered the wealth sector. This is where long-term prosperity, especially wealth you want to sustain, can be activated. Place your ZZ plant there to support that intention. If you're using it at work, near your computer or cash drawer is a good call. Just avoid tight corners or spaces crammed with clutter. This plant doesn't like to compete. 3, water with care, not anxiety. Overwatering is the ZZ's biggest enemy. Once every 2 to 3 weeks is more than enough. In fact, too much care can drown it. That's a lesson in itself. Not everything needs to be managed constantly to grow. Trust cycles, trust stillness. Check the soil with your finger. If it's dry 2 inches down, water. If not, leave it be. 4, reflect while you clean. Every couple of weeks, take a few minutes to gently wipe its leaves. Not just to make it look good, but to clear energy buildup. Think of it as resetting the flow. A simple, quiet act. No candles. No crystals, just you and your plant. Maybe a cup of tea nearby, maybe a thought like, may what I keep be enough, may what I grow be aligned. That's it. 5, use it as a visual affirmation. Every time you pass by it, let it remind you, growth can be slow and still meaningful. Money doesn't have to be chaotic. Security doesn't have to be loud. Stability isn't boring, it's beautiful. This plant is your permission slip to build wealth quietly from the inside out. And if it starts to falter, don't panic. Don't toss it, just pause, reassess the space, the flow, your routines, your rest, your breath. Sometimes the ZZ plant will begin to curl or droop not because of light or water, but because it's picked up too much tension from its surroundings. Plants feel more than we give them credit for, especially the ones built to endure. Think of this plant as the financial pulse of your home, not the windfall, not the lottery win, but the savings account. The slow, faithful drip of income that carries you through lean seasons. The retirement fund you built out of everyday choices. The support that doesn't leave when the spotlight does. This is the kind of prosperity we don't talk about enough. Quiet, sustainable, rooted in reality. Not in vision boards and hustle culture, but in stillness, in self-respect. In boundaries that say, I'm allowed to grow slow. So the next time you walk past your ZZ plant, stop. Put your hand on its leaves. Feel the waxy texture, the firmness, the way it stands even when no one's watching. Let that be your reminder. You don't need to bloom every week to be making progress. Sometimes just holding your ground, calm, clear, and committed, is more than enough. 5. Jade Plant, a living symbol of what we choose to keep. Some plants speak to the future, others speak to the past. The jade plant does both. It's the kind of plant you often find in the background of old photographs, sitting on your grandmother's windowsill, tucked in a ceramic pot with chipped edges, quietly catching the light. It's the one that somehow survives generations, moved from one home to another, watered by different hands, whispered to perhaps or not, but always present. In energy traditions, the jade plant is known as the money plant. Its plump, rounded leaves resemble tiny coins, smooth and green like wealth just beginning to take root. But beyond symbolism, there's a deeper truth. The jade plant doesn't just attract prosperity, it embodies it. Not in the flashy, overnight success kind of way, but in the long game, the slow build, the kind of abundance that grows one thoughtful act at a time. This plant doesn't just grow, it gathers energy, intention, memory. And if you've ever cared for one, you know it asks very little but gives a lot. A single stem can become a small tree over time, curving gently toward the sun. Its growth is not linear. It's layered, rooted, spiraled. Much like the process of building a meaningful life. But here's what makes the jade plant powerful. Its energy is cumulative. Every time you water it with intention, it remembers. Every moment you pause to touch a leaf, to clean the dust, to rotate it toward the morning sun, you're making a deposit into the energetic bank of your home. Not dramatic, but real. This is a plant of steady returns. So why do so many people overlook it? Because it doesn't beg for attention. It doesn't bloom with showy flowers. It grows slowly, often imperceptibly. Which is to say, it grows like wealth should, with time, with consistency, with quiet care. Let's bring that into practice. Here's how to truly welcome the jade plant into your home, not as decor, but as a long-term partner in growth. 1. Place it near the source of your intentions. This isn't just about wealth. It's about what you value. That might be your desk, where you write or work or dream. It might be the corner of your bedroom where you read before bed. It might be the entryway where energy first enters your space. Traditional placement suggests the southeast corner for financial expansion, but feel into it. Where do you most need steadiness? That's where your jade belongs. 2. Let it breathe. The jade plant likes light, but not harsh sun. Morning light is best. Let it stretch slowly toward brightness, much like you do when you rise. If the leaves start to fade or wrinkle, that's your sign. Something in the space needs rebalancing. Maybe clutter has crept in. Maybe the energy has been too rushed. The plant will tell you. All you need to do is notice. 3. Water less but deeply. Overwatering is common, and it mirrors a deeper lesson. More isn't always better. Give the jade plant a good soak, then let the soil dry completely before the next watering. It thrives on cycles, rhythms like the financial seasons of our lives. The flush times, the quiet times, both are part of the same truth. What you nurture consistently grows. 4. Make it part of your ritual. You don't need incense or chants, just attention. Once a week, sit beside your plant for a moment. Place a hand on the soil. Ask yourself a question. Where am I growing, even if I can't see it yet? Write that down. Let the plant hold that question for you, like a friend keeping a secret until you're ready to answer. 5. Gift it forward. One of the most beautiful traditions around jade plants is that they're often passed down. A clipping from one becomes a new plant for someone else. A daughter a neighbor, a friend starting over. That's abundance in action. Not hoarding, but sharing. If your plant is thriving, consider cutting a piece and growing it for someone who needs new roots. That, too, is wealth. There's a story told in many homes, not just spiritual ones, about an elder who kept a single jade plant near her kitchen window. She watered it every Sunday without fail, never talked about it, never missed a week. Years later, after she passed, her family found an old note tucked beneath the pot. It said, "Whatever you take care of takes care of you back." That's the soul of the jade plant. It's not just about attracting fortune. It's about remembering the kind of fortune that lasts, peace of mind, steady health, the slow joy of seeing something you loved grow under your care. In a world chasing speed and instant results, this plant is your anchor. It says, you're allowed to go slow. You're allowed to build something small, quiet, and completely yours. And every time you touch its leaves, you're reminded. Real prosperity doesn't arrive all at once. It grows leaf by leaf, memory by memory, moment by moment. 6. Aloe Vera, the inner healer hiding in plain sight. Let's step into a quieter space. No clutter, no noise, just air filtered and still. Sunlight slipping through sheer curtains, the faint scent of something green and alive. And in the corner, unassuming, soft-spined, quietly pulsing with life, sits Aloe Vera. Most people know it for its gel. Its ability to soothe sunburns, heal scrapes, cool the sting of too much sun or too little care. But aloe is more than a remedy. It's a signal, a symbol of what happens when we retain what nourishes and release what doesn't. In energy work, aloe vera is a rare plant. Unlike others that project or protect, aloe absorbs, gathers, filters, transforms. Its thick, water-filled leaves don't just hydrate the body. They represent a container, a vessel that holds vitality gently and intentionally until it's needed. It doesn't ask for attention. But when you slow down, when you're ready to clear out the emotional static, aloe is the one that steps forward. And here's where it becomes something powerful, not just for your space, but for your nervous system. Because aloe isn't a showpiece. It's a process. Let's start with placement. This plant thrives in soft, indirect light, not the blazing afternoon kind, more like the hush of early morning. Place it in your bedroom window, your reading nook, your workspace, anywhere you seek clarity and calm. Do not place it near your kitchen stove. Fire energy overwhelms aloe's subtle balance. Too much heat, too much motion, and it loses its quiet strength. Instead, think of aloe as your emotional purifier, a natural detoxifier for stagnant thoughts, for feelings you didn't even know you were holding onto. That's why it works best in rooms where you exhale, not perform. Now let's talk about care. Less is more. Aloe vera teaches restraint. It stores water in its body, so it asks you not to overwater it. Once every 2 to 3 weeks is plenty. Let the soil dry out completely. This isn't a needy plant. It doesn't respond to over-efforting. It responds to trust. Check in with it gently. Does it feel firm, plump, cool to the touch? Good. That means it's doing its job holding space, not just for itself, but for you. And if you feel called to go deeper, here's a ritual to try. Aloe clarity practice. Once a week, ideally in the morning, sit near your aloe vera. No phone, no playlist, just light and breath. 2. Place your hands over its pot, not touching, just hovering. 3. Breathe in slowly. As you exhale, imagine all your tension, the mental clutter, the worry, the static flowing downward into the soil. 4. Thank the plant. Not with words necessarily, but with presence. 5. Return to your day lighter. You don't need to believe in energy work to feel the shift. The nervous system knows what calm feels like. This plant simply holds the space for you to remember. Now here's a tip most people miss. Aloe Vera doesn't like too much movement. Don't keep picking it up, shifting it from room to room. Let it settle. Like you do when you finally let yourself rest. The more stable its placement, the stronger its effect. And if you use the gel, either fresh from a cut leaf or bottled, make it a moment. A form of self-care that's tactile and intentional. A cooling balm not just for the skin, but for your pace. Rub it in slowly. Let the scent remind you healing is not urgent. It's allowed to unfold. There's one more thing. Aloe Vera, more than most houseplants, responds to the energy of the air around it. If there's too much argument, agitation, or stress in a space, it begins to sag. It doesn't protest. It just loses tone. This is not weakness, it's sensitivity. It's feedback. Take the cue. Light a candle, open a window, breathe slower. Because sometimes the air needs cleansing too. So much of modern life is speed, stimulus, scroll, but aloe is the pause. The reset, the plant that teaches you how to hold yourself better without rushing to fix or do. It says, you can stop now. You're allowed to breathe here. You don't have to carry all of it. In a world that applauds productivity, aloe is the whisper that says healing can be gentle. It doesn't have to make noise to be real. So if your space has felt tight, your sleep shallow, your mood frayed at the edges, consider this your invitation. Find a small aloe plant, place it with care, and let it become your mirror, not of who you think you should be, but of who you are beneath the layers, cool, rooted, whole. 7. Agenma, the bold bloom of feminine fortune. There are plants that whisper. Then there are plants that walk into the room and change the atmosphere. Agenma is the latter. With leaves brushed in reds, pinks, and deep greens, this plant doesn't hide in the background. It glows. It says, I'm here, I'm alive, and I'm not afraid to take up space. And maybe, just maybe, that's what your home needs more of. In Feng Shui, red is the color of fire, of activation, of energy in motion. But in modern, intuitive design, it's also the color of the empowered heart, the self that's no longer dimming to fit. When you bring a red agenma into your space, you're not just adding color, you're inviting in courage, visibility, confidence with roots. This isn't a loud plant, it's a poised one, a plant that knows its worth. It thrives in low light, yet never looks dim. It grows steadily, but carries the aura of abundance. It's perfect for women who are stepping into a new season, career reinvention, emotional clarity, or simply a home that reflects who they've become. Let's start with why this plant matters beyond beauty. Every leaf of the agenma is like a mirror to how we hold our personal power. Curved, full, unapologetically colored, it reflects how vibrant energy feels when it's finally allowed to bloom. When you place this plant near where decisions are made, your desk, your altar, your reading chair, you create more than decor. You claim energetic space. Let's make it practical. One placement with intention. Agenma thrives in low to medium light, making it ideal for corners that feel dim or uninspired. But don't just plop it anywhere. Put it where your presence is evolving, a workspace you're reclaiming, a home altar you've just begun to build, a vanity where you do more than apply creams, you reconnect with yourself. This is your I'm stepping forward now plant. 2. Honor the red. Red doesn't ask for permission, it declares, it activates. This plant's hues are a reminder that fortune responds to visibility. If you've been shrinking, energetically, creatively, financially, agenma is your gentle nudge to expand. To say yes when you used to say maybe. To open the door a little wider when opportunity knocks. 3. Rotate for clarity. Literally, every week or two, rotate the plant to catch light on all sides. Symbolically, this says, I'm willing to look at life from a new angle. It also ensures balanced growth, no leaning, no imbalance. a small move that creates steady alignment. 4. Clean and amplify. Wipe the leaves, not because they're dirty, but because they shine. Use a soft cloth. Take your time. As you clean, whisper a simple truth. I see myself. Or, I welcome what supports my next chapter. This is about visibility, reflection, intention. 5. Invite the lineage. Place something sacred near it. Your grandmother's bracelet, a framed mantra, a crystal that's traveled with you. Let this plant be more than just yours. Let it become part of your story's arc, a living witness to your next becoming. Agenma is especially powerful in social energy zones. Living rooms, shared offices, group creative spaces. It doesn't just activate wealth, it encourages flow through connection. Think of it as the extrovert of your plant family. Not chaotic, but gracefully open. In some spiritual spaces, this plant is placed on altars not as an offering, but as an embodiment of blessing itself. It says, beauty is worthy, joy is wealth, expression is sacred. And let's not overlook this. Agenma is resilient. It doesn't need constant attention. It forgives the occasional miss. It holds strong in imperfect conditions. It's the kind of energy you want around when life feels uncertain. Steady. Gorgeous, undeniably alive. So, who are you when you let yourself be seen? What shifts when you stop toning down your colors? What opens when your environment finally reflects your radiance, not just your responsibilities? That's what this plant is here to hold. Place it with pride. Let it dazzle. Let it remind you that energy isn't just something you manage, it's something you embody, boldly, gracefully, on your terms, because wealth isn't only what you gather. It's who you become. And sometimes all it takes is a single red leaf, unfolding unapologetically. That gives you permission to do the same. Final. By now you've met 10 living companions. Not ornaments, not trends, but quiet forces of nature, each holding a different kind of wisdom. Some shield, some heal. Some reflect what's been waiting inside you all along. And maybe, as you listened, a certain plant called to you. Not with logic, but with a subtle pull. That's not coincidence. That's recognition. The energy of your home, your life, knows what it needs. What matters now is not which one you choose. It's how you choose it, not as a transaction, but as a turning point. A gentle moment where you say, yes, I'm ready to care, to listen, to shift. Because here's what no one tells you. You don't have to do everything to change your life. Sometimes all it takes is placing one plant in one corner and paying attention. Watering not just the roots, but the atmosphere. Wiping the leaves like you're clearing old thoughts. Turning it toward the light like you're reminding yourself. Growth is always possible. And then, you wait, you listen, you allow your space to become a mirror, not of who you've been, but of who you're becoming. That's the quiet magic of energy. That's how homes begin to heal. So tonight, when the house grows still, when the air softens, pause by the plant you've chosen. Look at it like it's looking back, and ask gently, what am I now ready to let grow? Let the answer come in silence. Let the shift begin in stillness. Because even the smallest leaf held with love can become a prayer that changes everything.